For today's video, I thought it would be cool to dive into the story of the Globe Swift, a sporty little airplane that holds a special place in my family's history. You see, back in 1946, my dad was an actual certified dealer of these sleek machines. He always said the Swift reminded him of a mini P-47, and he should know, considering he was a test pilot for Republic during World War II, flying the real thing. Tony loved how responsive the Swift was in the air. I can only imagine the maneuvers he put that little plane through. After all, when you've tested Thunderbolts, flying a Swift probably felt like racing a go-kart after handling a race car. I'll share more about his exciting adventures with the P-47 in a future video. While digging through some aviation history, I stumbled upon a fantastic piece from the May 1946 issue of the Globe Gleam, a factory newsletter. It actually featured an interview with my dad and his first wife, Maxine. Anthony and Maxine Riccio of Gardenville, New York were recent visitors at the Globe aircraft plant, where they took delivery of a new Swift and flew it home, with their pet cat as a purring passenger. Mr. and Mrs. Riccio, both flyers, operate Buffalo Air Park Incorporated, distributor for the Swift in western New York State. Mrs. Riccio is a former Texan from Uvalde. I guess even the family cat had good taste in airplanes. Globe Aircraft had quite a setup at their Fort Worth factory. Here's another excerpt from their newsletter. Birds of a feather and flock together above our 11 Globe Swifts line up in front of the plant's new flight hangar, now near completion. The planes were in their final flight test stage when the picture was made, and since have been delivered to distributors. Clearly, they were gearing up for something big. Globe had high hopes, aiming to produce around 4,000 Swifts in a single year. Not bad for a little two-seater, born from the dreams of designer R.S. Pop Johnson and businessman John Kennedy. Speaking of the factory, here's an interesting tidbit from an industrial writer's visit. The newspapermen also visited the busy Globe aircraft plant, which is aiming at an output of 4,000 Swifts this year and has $18 million on its order books. Two others, the Johnson Aircraft and Eaglecraft Company, are now going into production. To appreciate the Swift's significance, let's look deeper into Globe Aircraft's fascinating history. Globe Aircraft originated as the Bennett Aircraft Corporation in 1940, experimenting with new materials like Duralloy, a unique plywood composite. Fort Worth businessman John Kennedy took over in 1941, renaming the company Globe Aircraft Corporation, and quickly set sights on civilian aircraft production. But World War II shifted their plans entirely, and Globe found itself manufacturing components for large military aircraft, including parts for the Curtiss C-46 and building around 600 Beechcraft AT-10 trainers under license. When the war ended, Globe turned its attention back to the civilian market, revisiting their original vision, a sleek, sporty, two-seater airplane designed by R.S. Pop Johnson. Early Swift prototypes were wood-based due to wartime shortages, but by 1945, an all-metal Swift emerged, remarkable for its time, featuring retractable landing gear, cantilever wings, and hydraulically operated flaps. The first official model, the Globe GC-1A Swift, powered by an 85 horsepower Continental engine, quickly evolved into the more powerful GC-1B version, boasting 125 horsepower and improved performance. Globe partnered with Temco to meet the high demand, producing an incredible number of aircraft in a short span. However, by 1947, the aviation boom rapidly cooled, leaving Globe with fields full of unsold airplanes. Facing insurmountable financial trouble, Globe Aircraft filed for bankruptcy, with Temco taking over production. Temco produced Swifts for a few more years before finally ceasing production in 1951, marking the end of an ambitious yet challenging era for the Swift. Despite this commercial roller coaster, the Globe Swift built a passionate following. Its advanced design, sporty handling, and fighter plane charm kept it popular among aviation enthusiasts, turning it into a classic collectible and a treasured piece of aviation history. Let's enjoy a few more photos of the Globe Swift before we conclude this video. So that's the Swift in a nutshell, an airplane ahead of its time, too ambitious for its own good, but forever admired by those who flew it. I hope you enjoyed this deeper dive into the Globe Swift's storied history. Drop a comment if you ever had a chance to fly a Swift, or share what you found most interesting about this unique aircraft. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more aviation adventures. I'm Bill Riccio, and I'll catch you in the next video.